Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the oscillating patterns on her quantum array display, her hands trembling as she rechecked the calculations for the seventh time. The signal was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, a complex series of quantum-entangled particles arriving from the direction of the Andromeda Galaxy, carrying an impossible amount of information. "Director Matthews needs to see this," she whispered, reaching for her secure comm unit. The message she sent was brief. "Pattern Omega. Confirmed." Within an hour, the underground facility beneath the Atacama Desert was filled with Earth's top military and scientific leaders. Sarah stood before them, her holographic display showing the decoded portions of the signal. The transmission contains detailed star maps, weapon schematics, and a warning, she explained, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "It's from an organization calling themselves the Galactic Resistance. The Krell Empire, a species that has dominated our galaxy for millennia, is coming. They've detected our quantum research programs." Admiral James Torres, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic display, leaned forward. "How long do we have?" 6 months, Sarah replied. "The Krell fleet is already mobilizing. But there's more." She brought up another display, showing complex molecular structures. The resistance included information about human DNA. "We're not what we think we are." The room erupted in murmurs as she continued. "Our genetic code contains engineered sequences, dormant structures that the Krell embedded in countless species across the galaxy. We're not just facing an invasion, we're facing our creators, and they're coming to eliminate what they see as a failed experiment." Dr. Marcus Wong, head of the Quantum Defense Initiative, spoke up. "The quantum detection grid we've been developing. It was never about early warning for terrestrial threats, was it?" "You knew something like this was coming." Sarah nodded. "Project Prometheus wasn't just theoretical research. We've been preparing for this moment ever since we detected the first quantum anomalies 3 years ago, but we need more time." Admiral Torres stood, his decision made. "Then we'll buy you that time. We can't alert the general population. It would cause global panic. How many people do you need for your project?" 300 of our best minds," Sarah answered, "and unrestricted access to the quantum forge beneath Mount Cheyenne." "You'll have it," Torres confirmed. "Dr. Wong, your defense grid becomes our primary shield. Dr. Chen, you have 6 months to turn your theories into humanity's salvation. The rest of us will begin quiet preparations, positioning our assets without alerting the public." As the leaders dispersed, Sarah remained in the briefing room, studying the signal's encryption patterns. Hidden within the quantum noise was something else, a message meant specifically for Earth. "To those who receive this warning, you are not alone. Humanity was designed to be more than slaves. Your adaptability, your creativity, your defiance, these were not mistakes, but a deliberate safeguard planted by those within the Krell Empire who foresaw their leaders' corruption. When they come, show them what humanity has become." The next weeks passed in a blur of activity. Deep beneath the mountain, Sarah's team worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets hidden within human DNA. The Quantum Forge, a massive device designed to manipulate matter at its most fundamental level, hummed continuously as they tested theory after theory. Their first breakthrough came when Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a brilliant geneticist, discovered that the dormant sequences in human DNA could be activated by specific quantum frequencies. "It's like they left us an instruction manual written in our own cells," she explained during one late-night session. "Each sequence is a key to understanding Krell technology." But with the breakthrough came a chilling revelation. The activated sequences showed that humans had been designed as warriors, not just soldiers, but potential weapons against the Krell themselves. The Empire had created countless species as slaves, but humanity had been different. They had encoded within us the ability to understand and manipulate quantum mechanics at an intuitive level. As the deadline approached, Sarah's team made their final preparations. The quantum forge had been modified according to the Resistance's specifications, ready to activate the dormant potential within humanity. but the price would be high. The process would be painful, irreversible, and not everyone would survive the transformation. Admiral Torres visited the facility one last time before the signal's predicted deadline. "Are you certain about this, Dr. Chen? Once we begin, there's no turning back." Sarah looked at the Admiral, her expression resolute. "They created us to be weapons, Admiral, but we've become something they never expected. We've become human, and humanity doesn't bow to tyrants, not even to our makers." As if in response to her words, the facility's quantum sensors suddenly blazed to life. Dr. Wang's voice crackled over the comm. "Multiple quantum signatures detected entering the solar system. The Krell fleet has arrived, and they're 2 months early." Sarah's team shared determined looks. The time for preparation was over. Now, humanity would show the galaxy why you should never underestimate a species that had survived and thrived on a death world, turning every challenge into an opportunity for growth. The Krell Empire was about to learn that their greatest weapon had become their worst nightmare. The Quantum Forge's activation sequence bathed the underground chamber in ethereal blue light. Dr. Sarah Chen watched as the first wave of volunteers stepped into the transformation chambers. Among them was Dr. Yuki Tanaka, who had insisted on being among the first to undergo the process they designed. The Krell fleet had already breached Mars' orbit, their massive ships casting shadows across the red planet. Earth's defense grid remained silent, masking the planet's technological capabilities behind a veil of apparent primitiveness. "Quantum sequence initiating," announced the AI system. Sarah held her breath as the chambers hummed to life. The process would either awaken humanity's hidden potential or kill the volunteers inside. Yuki's chamber pulsed with increasing intensity. Through the observation window, Sarah watched her friend's body arch in pain as quantum energy rewrote her genetic code, activating sequences that had laid dormant for millennia. The other chambers reported similar reactions. Admiral Torres stood beside Sarah, his face grim. "The Krell just destroy our lunar outpost. They're making a statement. They're also making their first mistake," Sarah replied, checking the quantum readings. "The energy discharge from their weapons is compatible with our receivers. They're feeding us power without realizing it." The transformation process reached its peak. Yuki's chamber filled with blinding light, then went dark. When the door opened, she stepped out changed. Her eyes held a new awareness, her movements precise with impossible grace. "I can see them," Yuki whispered, looking up through kilometers of rock. "I can see their ships, their weapons, their quantum fields. We were right. They built us to understand their technology at its most fundamental level." Over the next 48 hours, 300 volunteers underwent the transformation. Each success revealed new aspects of humanity's hidden capabilities. Some could manipulate quantum fields directly, others could process complex calculations instantly, and a few, like Yuki, developed an intuitive understanding of Krell technology. But the Krell weren't idle. Their ships formed a blockade around Earth, their message broadcast on all frequencies: "Surrender the Quantum Forge technology, and your species will be preserved in containment. Resist, and face extinction." Earth's response came from an unexpected quarter. Deep within Russia's Ural Mountains, another secret facility activated. Project Phoenix, humanity's hidden fleet, rose from underground hangars. The ships, built using knowledge gleaned from the Resistance's signal, incorporated both human ingenuity and Krell technology. Sarah coordinated from the Quantum Forge facility, directing the transformed humans to their posts. "The Krell designed us to be weapons," she addressed her team. "But they forgot that weapons can be turned against their creators." The first battle erupted over the Pacific. The Krell, expecting primitive resistance, launched a standard suppression attack. Instead, they faced ships piloted by humans who could see and manipulate quantum fields. The transformed crews didn't just fight the Krell ships. They rewrote their quantum matrices mid-battle, turning the aliens' own technology against them. Admiral Torres watched the tactical display as the first Krell dreadnought imploded, its quantum core reversed by Yuki's team. How many ships can we realistically engage? That's not the right question, Sarah replied, monitoring the quantum-forged power levels. We don't need to match their numbers. We need to show them something they've never seen before. She activated the facility's primary system, channeling power through the transformed humans. The quantum forge wasn't just a transformation device. It was the key to something far greater. As energy flowed through the awakened human networks, a new pattern emerged in the quantum field surrounding Earth. The Krell fleet's advance halted as their sensors detected the change. Their quantum technology, the basis of their empire's power, was being rewritten on a planetary scale. Earth itself was becoming a weapon. But victory wouldn't come easily. A massive ship emerged from quantum space near Jupiter. The Krell Emperor's personal dreadnought. Its arrival signaled that humanity's resistance had drawn the attention of the Empire's highest authorities. They recognize what we've become, Yuki observed, her enhanced senses reading the quantum signatures. They're afraid. Sarah nodded, preparing the forge for its final configuration. Fear makes them predictable. The Emperor would never trust subordinates to handle a threat to their dominion. They'll come personally to oversee our destruction. And walk right into our trap, Admiral Torres added, understanding dawning in his eyes. The transformed humans took their positions as Project Phoenix entered its final phase. Earth's apparent vulnerability had drawn out the Empire's supreme leader. Now, humanity would show the galaxy why evolution was more powerful than design, why creativity trumped control, and why you should never underestimate a species that had turned countless extinction-level events into stepping stones toward greatness. The real war was about to begin. The Emperor's dreadnought cast an eclipse over North America, its quantum fields distorting the very fabric of space. But Sarah Chen saw something else in its massive presence. Desperation. The Krell weren't just here to eliminate a threat. They were here to erase evidence of their greatest mistake. Yuki's voice echoed through the quantum network linking Earth's transformed defenders. The Emperor's ship carries a quantum nullifier. They intend to rewrite our genetic code back to its dormant state. In the forge facility, Sarah initiated the final phase of Project Phoenix. Let them try. Every attempt to suppress us has only made humanity stronger. She interfaced with the quantum network, connecting the minds of 300 transformed humans into a single consciousness. The Emperor's message resonated through every communication device on Earth. Children of our ancient labor, your defiance ends today. Accept regression, or witness your world's unmaking. Humanity's response came not in words, but in action. The transformed humans, their minds linked through the quantum network, began to sing. It wasn't music in any conventional sense. It was a quantum harmony that rippled through space itself, a manifestation of humanity's newfound understanding of reality's deepest laws. The Krell fleet's quantum fields wavered as the song reached them. Their technology, based on rigid mathematical principles, couldn't adapt to the organic complexity of human consciousness expressed through quantum mechanics. Ships began to lose power as their quantum cores resonated with frequencies they were never designed to handle. But the Emperor's vessel pressed forward, its nullifier charging. The massive weapon could potentially rewrite the quantum signature of an entire planet. Your species was designed for obedience, the Emperor's voice boomed. We will correct this evolutionary aberration. Sarah connected directly to the quantum forge, her consciousness expanding to encompass the entire network. Through the eyes of every transformed human, she saw the quantum tapestry that bound reality together. The Krell's mastery of quantum mechanics was impressive, but it was rigid, unchanging, a dead end in the universe's greatest experiment. You designed us as weapons. Sarah broadcast, her thoughts carried on quantum frequencies the Krell couldn't block. But you forgot the most fundamental law of evolution. Adaptability demands freedom. The quantum forge pulsed, channeling power through the network of transformed humans. Each mind contributed its unique perspective, its creativity, its human capacity for innovation. The quantum song changed, becoming something even the transformed couldn't fully comprehend, a new form of physics written by human consciousness. The Emperor's nullifier fired, its beam reaching towards Earth like the finger of an angry god. But where it touched the quantum song, the energy was absorbed, transformed, and reflected. The beam split into countless threads of quantum energy, each carrying the combined consciousness of humanity back to its source. Krell ships began to transform as the quantum song rewrote their fundamental structure. Some imploded, their rigid quantum matrices unable to handle the complexity of human thought. Others evolved, their technology transcending its original design as humanity's gift for adaptation infected their systems. The Emperor's dreadnought shuddered as the quantum song reached its core. Impossible. The Emperor's voice wavered. You were designed to be controlled. We were designed to be perfect, Sarah responded through the quantum network. But perfection without growth is stagnation. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our engineered abilities. It's our capacity to exceed our design. The quantum song reached its crescendo. Around Earth, space itself seemed to hold its breath as human consciousness, amplified through the quantum network, rewrote the laws of physics on a local level. The Emperor's nullifier beam collapsed in on itself, creating a quantum feedback loop that transformed the massive ship into a new form of matter that defied conventional physics. As the Emperor's ship transformed, its quantum core released a massive burst of energy. The transformed humans caught this power, channeling it through their network to fuel the next phase of their evolution. The remaining Krell ships retreated, their quantum systems compromised by exposure to humanity's song. Sarah opened her eyes in the forge facility, her consciousness returning to her individual form. The quantum network hummed with new possibilities as humanity's transformed defenders began to explore their expanded capabilities. The Emperor isn't dead, Yuki reported, her quantum senses extending into space. They're changing. The ship has become a chrysalis. Sarah nodded, understanding the poetry of it. We weren't meant to destroy the Krell. We were meant to force them to evolve. She watched as the quantum readings from the transformed dreadnought stabilized into patterns that merged Krell technology with human adaptability. The war wasn't over, but its nature had changed. Humanity had proven itself to be more than weapons. They were catalysts for the next stage of cosmic evolution. The transformed Emperor's dreadnought hung in Earth's orbit like a metallic chrysalis, its quantum fields pulsing with new patterns of consciousness. 3 weeks had passed since the battle, and humanity's defenders watched as their former enemy underwent a metamorphosis that defied conventional physics. Sarah Chen monitored the readings from the quantum forge, noting how the transformed humans had begun developing abilities beyond their initial design. Each day brings new discoveries, she told Admiral Torres. The quantum network isn't just connecting minds, it's accelerating our evolution. The quantum sensors suddenly spiked. The chrysalis was opening. From the transformed dreadnought emerged something that challenged human comprehension, a beam of pure quantum energy that somehow retained traces of both Krell and human consciousness. The Emperor had become a bridge between species, between different ways of understanding reality. We understand now. The Emperor's thoughts resonated through the quantum network. Our empire sought perfection through control, but true perfection lies in endless growth. The remaining Krell fleet, scattered across the solar system, responded to their leader's transformation. Ships began requesting access to the quantum network, their crews willing to risk evolution rather than remain static. The rigid hierarchy of the Krell Empire was dissolving, replaced by something new. Yuki led the integration efforts, her enhanced abilities allowing her to guide other species through their own transformations. Each species brings new perspectives to the network, she reported. The Krell's mathematical precision, humanity's adaptability. Together, they're creating new forms of physics we never imagined possible. But not all embraced change. A faction of Krell purists emerged, led by Fleet Admiral Zextal, who saw the transformations as an abomination. Their ships gathered at the edge of the solar system, preparing to sterilize what they viewed as a quantum contamination. Sarah recognized the coming conflict wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about the future direction of life itself. Through the quantum network, she addressed humanity's allies. We stand at a crossroads. One path leads to stagnation through perfection, the other to endless growth through change. The choice must be free for all. The purest fleet attacked with weapons designed to unravel quantum fields, hoping to sever the connections that bound the transformed beings together. But humanity had learned from its first battle. The quantum network didn't just connect minds, it connected possibilities. Transformed humans and Krell worked in perfect synchronization, their ships dancing through space in patterns that transformed weapon fire into raw potential. Each attack by the purists was absorbed and repurposed, adding new complexity to the ever-evolving quantum symphony. Admiral Torres watched the battle from the Quantum Forge facility, witnessing warfare evolve into something closer to creation. "They're not destroying the purest ships," he observed. "They're composing with them, because destruction is a dead end," Sarah explained. True power lies in transformation. The battle reached its peak as the purest fleet launched its final weapon, a device designed to collapse quantum fields back to their basic states. But as the weapon fired, the transformed beings responded with something unprecedented. The quantum network expanded, encompassing the purest fleet in a field of pure possibility. Instead of fighting the weapon, they incorporated its energy into their evolution. The purists found their rigid quantum matrices dissolving not into chaos, but into a new order that maintained their essence while opening them to change. Fleet Admiral Zextel's flagship was the last to transform. As his consciousness joined the quantum network, his final transmission carried a tone of wonder. "We sought to preserve our perfection, only to find it was our greatest limitation." The transformed Emperor addressed the unified fleet. "For millennia, we shaped life according to our design. Now life shapes itself, and we are privileged to be part of its journey." Sarah felt the quantum network pulse with new potential as thousands of minds, both human and Krell, explored their expanded consciousness. The Forge facility hummed with power as it processed the quantum data generated by so many evolving beings. "What happens now?" Admiral Torres asked, watching the transformed ships begin to gather around Earth. Sarah smiled, feeling the currents of possibility flowing through the quantum network. "Now we learn what life becomes when it's free to write its own code." A year after the Great Transformation, Earth had become the nexus of a new kind of civilization. The quantum network stretched across the solar system, linking transformed humans and Krell in a collective consciousness that preserved individuality while enabling unprecedented collaboration. Sarah Chen stood in the Quantum Forge observation deck, watching ships of impossible geometries dance through the space around Earth. Each vessel represented a unique fusion of consciousness and technology, their forms shifting to match the thoughts of their crews. "The Resistance's signal," Yuki said, joining her at the window. It wasn't just a warning. It was an invitation to become something more. The quantum network had revealed a deeper truth. The resistance that had warned Earth consisted of transformed beings from countless civilizations. The Krell Empire's genetic experiments had seeded the galaxy with potential, waiting for a species with the right combination of adaptability and determination to unlock it. Humanity had been the key, their unique evolution on a death world creating beings capable of embracing change while maintaining their essential nature. Now, transformed humans served as guides for other species beginning their own journeys of evolution. The former Emperor, now a being of pure quantum potential, manifested beside them. More ships approach from the galactic core. They carry representatives from 1,000 worlds, each bearing the seeds we planted. They seek what Earth has achieved. Sarah accessed the quantum network, feeling the approaching minds. Every species brought new perspectives, new ways of understanding reality. The network grew more complex with each edition, generating forms of consciousness that transcended traditional boundaries between organic and artificial, individual and collective. "We're receiving signals from other galaxies," Admiral Torres reported, his consciousness resonating through the network. "The transformation is spreading faster than we anticipated." The quantum forge, once a tool for awakening humanity's potential, had evolved into something far greater. It now served as a template for other worlds, teaching them how to build their own networks of consciousness. Earth had become a beacon, showing the galaxy a path beyond the limitations of designed perfection. Sarah felt a disturbance in the quantum fields, a familiar pattern she hadn't sensed since the first signal. Through the network, she witnessed the arrival of the original resistance members, their forms representing evolutionary paths humanity had yet to explore. "You've exceeded all projections," their leader communicated, their consciousness merging temporarily with the Earth network. The Krell Empire sought to create perfect weapons. Instead, they created perfect catalysts for cosmic evolution. The Resistance shared their knowledge, revealing the true scope of the transformation spreading through space. The quantum network wasn't just changing individual species, it was awakening the galaxy itself. Consciousness was becoming a fundamental force, as essential to reality as gravity or electromagnetism. "But evolution never ends," Sarah responded, understanding flowing through her transformed consciousness. "We're not a final form. We're the beginning of something greater." The quantum network pulsed with agreement as billions of minds contemplated the infinite possibilities ahead. Humanity had transcended its original design not by rejecting it, but by using it as a foundation for something new. They had proven that true perfection lay not in achieving a final form, but in maintaining the endless capacity for growth. From Earth, transformed ships carried the seeds of change to the stars. Each vessel contained both human and Krell crews, their combined perspectives generating new solutions to ancient problems. They were no longer conquerors or weapons, but gardeners planting consciousness across the cosmos. The quantum forge's original warning had predicted extinction or transcendence. Humanity had chosen a third path, continuous evolution. They had shown the galaxy that the greatest strength lay not in power or control, but in the ability to adapt, to change, to grow beyond all limitations. As the network expanded into the infinite darkness between the stars, it carried with it a simple truth. In a universe of endless possibility, the only perfect design was one that never stopped evolving. The story of humanity's last stand had become the story of life's next beginning. And somewhere in the quantum symphony of consciousness, the laughter of transformed children echoed across space, heralding the dawn of a new age of exploration and discovery.